Third chapter, verse number 11. We went over this before, but we're doing it again. Who wants to read? Anybody want to read? Raise your hand. I guess it is Maria. Third chapter, verse number 11. Third chapter, verse number 11. This is what happens if somebody, let's say anybody, let's say the worst person in your school who's always doing nonsense. Is there someone like that, Krishna too, in your school? Always doing nonsense? It's not you, right? No. And is there someone like that in your school, Krishna 1? Yeah. Augustus, so, yes? Okay, so go ahead, Ria. Read.
The demigods being pleased by sacrifices will also please you.
Wait a minute, okay. Now read the last paragraph of the purport.
Okay. Performance of yajnas has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from material bondage.
What is a yajna?
A sacrifice?
Sacrifice, yes. Is offering food to Krishna a sacrifice?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
By performance of yajnas, all activities becomes purified, as it is
Become
purified, as it is stated in the Vedas. Ahara suddho sattva suddhi sattva suddho dhruvam smriti smriti lambe sarva grantinam vipramoksha. By performance of yajna, one's eatables become sanctified, and by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence becomes purified. By the purification of existence, finer tissues in the memory become sanctified, and when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. And all these combined together lead to Krishna consciousness, the great necessity of present-day society.
Haribol. So what's the difference between sanctified and purified? Anybody? Sanctified and purified. Agastya Prabhu. Give him the microphone, please. Who's going to be in charge of the microphone? It used to be, who was it? Advitya was in charge before. Okay. Go ahead. And Krishna too was in charge sometimes, right? Who's going to be in charge today? Everybody votes for Krishna too. Okay, yeah.
Purified means like it's cleaned, and sanctified is like it's like holy now.
Yes. Purified means it's cleaned. Cleaned of all what? Cleaned of what? Well, if you're talking about the mind, it would be cleaned of all wrong ideas in the mind, right? Those bad, basically sinful desires. And sanctified means it becomes holy, becomes spiritualized. And that's the whole point. By eating prasadam, you can spiritualize your body and mind. First it gets purified, and then it becomes spiritualized, right? Like if you, let's say you had a pair of scissors that was rusty. You found it in your backyard. Somebody left it there. Let's say Advitya left it in the backyard last summer, right? And then Agastya discovered it the next summer, and it was all rusty. You couldn't even close it like that, right? So what would you do? No, that would not. No, that would help a little bit. What? What? Throw it away. That would be the dumbest thing to do. Why would you throw it away? It's just, anybody have an idea what to do with the scissors that are all rusty? How many think you should throw it away? Raise your hand. Okay, you said it. All right, anybody else have an alternate idea what to do with the scissors? Yes, Shivani, okay. Oh, wait, give her a microphone. Come on, Krishna too.
You have to like get
Go ahead.
My mom, she has this like scraper thing. So whenever like our stove gets dusty, she takes that and scrapes it. So maybe you can scrape the thing with the scissors.
That may work a little bit, yeah. Okay, Krishna 1. Let's see if you can correct yourself.
I think like last class we talked about like if a scissor get rusty, like you sharpen it or something, and then I can't remember, but like
No. Anybody? Just oh, wait a minute, Tulsi. What's your idea?
a microphone.
Krishna 1, 2 is really on the ball now.
My mom has a powder called Sabina, and she uses
What?
that.
She has what?
So it's a powder called Sabina. You only get it in India. It's like 25 rupees, and
It's a powder.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's like all, I don't know. It's no, there's no chemicals in it, and on any rusty thing she sees, she scrubs it with Sabina.
Okay. And what's
it
the
becomes
name?
clean.
Can you spell the name?
Sabena.
Sabena. Sabina. Okay. Anybody ever hear that? Any ladies ever hear of Sabina? Yes. Is it something in India or the United States? India. Okay. So, there's one solution. See? That's why I said it'd be dumb to throw away the... Can you write down Sabina? Huh? Okay. Okay. But utensils are metal, right? So what does it do to the utensils? Yeah. But will it take away rust? Oh, grease. What? Grease. Okay. Okay, well, now we're going to learn something new. You ever hear of what is it? WT40. Right. WD40. Okay, so Vihari Prabhu will explain to us what is WD40. Give him the microphone. Give him the
Just a spray. I think it's almost like an oil when it comes out, and it can take old rusty things. It can make it easy to operate, but it won't sharpen. Just cleaning would be easier with that afterwards.
It would clean off the rust.
Yeah, little, not so much.
Not so much?
No, it is to lubricate, not probably taking out the rust.
Okay. Is there anything that would take the rust off? How about who scrapes off? Who said Tulsi? Did you say that? Or who scrapes off the rust? Which mother? Oh yeah, your mother. You scrape off the rust with the.
No, Maharaj. For kitchen, the counter,
Yeah.
the stove top. Whenever something spills, I have a scraper for that. But that might not take the rust off.
Oh, okay. Anyway, WD-40 works. It works. It'll take off most of the rust, and if you use it in more than one time, it'll take it off, and then your scissors will start cutting again, and then you can sharpen it. You can sharpen the scissors. There are special tools. It's a wheel that turns, and it's like a stone wheel, and then it's electric, and you just put the metal on it, and it scrapes off the rust also. But first you would use the WD-40. Okay? All right, so purification and then sanctify. Right? So the rust in the brain and the body is purified by eating prasadam and sanctified. So it's a great thing, isn't it? So if you have a Simply Wonderful, now you realize how powerful the Simply Wonderful is. Did you finish reading? Yeah. So now, this little thing called the Simply Wonderful, it's so powerful that if you give it to the worst person in your school on a daily basis, eventually all their nonsense becomes purified and their mind and body will become sanctified. How about that? You want to do an experiment? Yes? Yourself? But you're not the worst person in your school, are you? But do you need to be purified and sanctified? Okay, you can start. But I'm more interested in helping others. Yes, Prabhu? You can't what?
Share food.
In school?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to share food.
Yeah.
Is that true in every school?
No.
Except you still share food, right? Yeah. So, I mean, will someone report you to the principal if you share food?
Yeah, someone.
You shouldn't let the teachers see it? Oh, okay. So kids are sharing food all the time? Okay. Well, that's in school, right? What if you're outside of school? Huh? Yes? 1 second. Go ahead. Okay, wait a minute. Give her the microphone. Yes?
They have cultural potlucks in some schools where they like ask you to bring food from your culture, and then you basically like put it there and then everybody takes some. So you could give it there too. You could give the Simply Wonderfuls there.
Okay, so, all right. So anyway, nobody follows that rule anyway, right? Okay, so anyway, you're not giving away to everybody. You just choose 1 or 2 people at a time. And if they like it, then you can give it to them every day. Right? And it's just a little thing like that. If he says, what is this? You say, it's a Simply Wonderful. You say, ah. And they taste it and say, wow, that is Simply Wonderful. Now, this is called what? Agyata Sukriti. What is Agyata Sukriti? Who knows? Prasana, yeah. Give her a microphone. What's Agyata Sukriti?
Unknowingly performing devotional service.
Yes. If you tell some person, oh, this is Simply Wonder, it's prasadam, it was offered to Krishna, and if you eat it, you're going to get purified. Do you think they would eat it? No, never. They would say, I don't want to touch that, right? So, but if you say, oh, this is really good, you know, and I eat it all the time, would you like to try one? And it's, well, okay, try. I always try one time. A lot of people say that. I'll give it a try. And if you make it nicely, with love and devotion for Krishna, and offer it to Krishna, and then offer it to a friend or somebody that you know, or someone who really needs it because they're a big nonsense, and they like it, then there's a chance that they become purified and then sanctified. That's what happens when you eat prasadam on a regular basis. You become purified and sanctified. Okay. So now who did their other homeworks? A lot of people. Let's say. Pranay, and what is your name? What is your name? Yeah? What? No. What her name? Yeah. What? Microphone. Where's the mic? Where's the mic man? Yes. What's your name? What? Anushka. Okay. Good. You did homework? You want to read it? Turn the microphone on so we can hear you.
Which homework do I?
Is that your homework?
Which homework do I read?
Well, I think there was 3 things. 4 things. Okay, go 1 and 2.
So
Is that your answer?
The first one was, what does it mean to have no desires?
Okay.
I searched it up, and it said that, from the notes, it said that you can't have no desires. Your desires can only be purified.
Okay.
And for number 2, it was...
Oh, wait a minute. What does it mean, though, to have no desires? It means
No.
I mean, you're correct. You can't live without desires. That's correct. But what does it mean to have no desires? That means you have no desires at all?
No, it means you can't, they can only be purified.
Okay, desires can be purified. So what's the difference between an impure desire and a pure desire? Is it
purified desires. Purified desires are material and.
Wait a minute. Purified or
impurified.
Yeah, not purified.
Yeah.
Are material, and what is a purified desire?
Spirit.
Is it
Spiritual.
What? Spiritual desire.
Yeah.
What's an example of a spiritual desire?
To eat prasad instead of regular food.
Haribol. Very good. Very good. Okay. And second? You did a second question. Yeah.
What are the 8 steps to attain no desires from the truths of Buddha?
Okay, from the teachings of Lord Buddha, right?
The 8-fold truths.
Yeah.
The first one was right view.
Okay, that means what? What does that mean, right view?
You look at things...
You always look on the right-hand side like this?
No. You look at things in the right way.
In the right way, yeah. Now, what does that actually mean in Krishna consciousness, to see in the right way? Yes. Yes. Say that again.
I think it means to see Krishna in everybody and respect them and be nice to them because they have Krishna in them.
Yeah, it's called universal vision of Krishna. See Krishna in the heart of every living entity and even in every atom of the universe. So that's right view. Go ahead, next.
Right resolve.
Right what?
Resolve.
Results? What's that mean?
Right speech.
Right speech, okay. Yes, speaking. What is right speech? Anybody know? Yes? What is right speech?
Resolve.
Say it again. Say it away. Read say in the microphone.
Being mindful of the words you use with yourself in communication with other people.
Okay, that's a general definition, but what's more specific to Krishna consciousness? Right speech. Would you talk about, Donald Duck to your friends? Does that be right speech? No. Okay, so what would be right speech? How about talk about Mickey Mouse?
Talking about Krishna, maybe?
Yeah, that's right speech. Basically, right speech is always saying things that are shastrically correct. What does that mean? Anushka, you know what that means? Shastrically, or Shastra. You know what Shastra means? No?
No.
It means like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Those are holy books. So when you say things that are already in the holy books, like in the holy book, like for example, it says, Prabhupada says that real desirelessness is desire to please Krishna. That means you don't desire material things for your selfish pleasure, but real desirelessness, meaning without material desires, is desiring to please Krishna. It doesn't mean having no desires, because you already said it's not possible to live without desires, right? So if in the scripture it says that one should be desireless, that means your only desires are to please Krishna. Okay, go ahead, next.
Right conduct.
Right action, yes, conduct. Anybody knows what that means, right conduct? Shivani. Krishna, too, is doing a great job. Haribol. Take the microphone.
The right conduct is also known as the right action, and it's how we perceive reality and draw meaning from our experiences will ultimately dictate how we behave in the real world. Although survival, ego, and adversity will always play a role in influencing or decisions, right actions encompasses the 5 precepts described by Buddha: not to kill, steal, lie, to avoid sexual misconduct, and to avoid harmful drugs.
Wow, Buddha sounds like a devotee. He's Krishna, right? He's an incarnation of Krishna, so nice, very good. Okay, go ahead, Anushka.
Right livelihood.
Okay, right livelihood. Not right to livelihood, but right livelihood. What does that mean? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. Arush, did you do your homework? Yeah? You know what right livelihood means? If you don't, that's okay. You know?
It's in my homework.
Ah? Is it ah?
It's in my homework, and I did it on my dad's phone.
Oh, where's your dad? Right livelihood. Livelihood means how you make a living. How do you get money? Right?
Gaining one's livelihood by benefiting others, also not selling weapons, poisons, or intoxicants.
Okay, so you don't do anything that hurts other people. You work honestly,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Go ahead, Anushka.
Right effort.
Okay. Anybody want to say what right effort is? Anybody? Did you raise your hand, bro? Yes. Go ahead. Give him the microphone. I know you're raising your hands. I'm trying to
So
find other
basically,
people to say it, but I'll call on you also.
It means to, like, I think, to give the right amount of effort even though things are not going the way you
Okay, speak closer to the microphone. We can't hear what you're saying. Speak louder.
give enough effort to do for the work you're doing.
Okay. That's one, excuse me, that is one way of explaining it. Anybody else want to explain it a little more? Shivani, you want to explain it more?
The willpower to prevent violence and destructive mental states, the discipline to become aware of negative thinking that already exists, and to produce and nurture positive thoughts that are yet to arise. The final aspect of this point is to emphasize higher conscious thinking and inspiration that is already present in the mind.
Wow, that sounds like something they might talk about in school, right? Right effort. So, yeah, Buddha, you can write this down. He was teaching what's called ahimsa parama dharma. Ahimsa paramo dharma. Ahimsa, A-H-I-M-S-A. A-H-I-M-S-A. Paramo, P-A-R-A-M-O. Ahimsa paramo dharma, D-H-A-R-M-A. Anybody know what that means? Ahimsa paramo dharma. This was what he was teaching as an overriding, let's say, theme of his philosophy. Yes, let's see. Okay, there he is. Pranay, Prabhu. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma.
I think it's to teach non-violence.
Yes, he said that the highest principle of religion, Dharma, is ahimsa, non-violence. Now, what does non-violence actually mean? It has several different aspects to it. Anybody want to take a stab at that? Ria, you want to? Okay. Everyone should congratulate Krishna too. He's doing a fantastic job with this microphone. Haribol. Yes, Ria.
Wait, what was the question again? Oh, non-violence. Okay, non-violence means to like not harm anything, and by like.
That's one aspect of it. Yes, not harm anyone physically, and any other way, just physically. Okay, there's Samarth has got his hand up. Next is going to be Shesta, and next will be.
Like.
Maybe. His new name is Maybe, yeah. Yes, Samarth.
Mentally being nonviolent.
Yes, so what's an example of mentally being violent?
Like, you're angry at somebody.
Yeah, and you say
And-
mean things.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. All right, next is Shrestha. Go ahead. We'll come back to you. We're talking about non-violence.
I was going to say verbally, like the way people talk to you.
Okay, verbally.
So
It's your-
speaking correctly to people and not using bad words, basically.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else? Yes, Prabhu? Where's Krishna? This is like working out at the gym for you.
I think mentally, I think you're not like emotionally like intact. Like you could keep, if you're like, you can't keep your emotions together. So if you're angry, then you should be, even if you're angry, you should be calm, because that would make you more.
You should calmly be angry?
No. Even if someone does something that angers you, you should take it in a positive way and be calm. And like,
Or someone says to you, "You're a jerk." Show us how you would calmly take that.
Ignore them.
What?
Ignore them instead of like.
Ah. So now write this down. Answer a fool with silence. Answer a fool with silence. Answer, A-N-S-W-E-R. Answer a fool with silence. What does that mean? Answer a fool with silence. Yes. Where's the microphone? There she is. Say your name, Suad.
Vrinda.
Rida? Okay. What does it mean? Answer a fool with silence.
To ignore something, if someone says like something like mean to you, just ignore it.
Yes, but what does that mean, ignore it?
Go away.
That's one way. Another, okay, let's see. Ignore it. Okay, what does it mean? Everyone's answering yum. Why don't you say yum instead of Go ahead.
Not taking it directly to you, like maybe you could think about something else and not think about like what's happening at that moment.
Yes. In other words, not accepting it as an insult, not reacting. And, okay, he wants to say something. This says, answer a fool with silence. Om.
Ignoring. Wait.
Om. Don't say This is the coronavirus here.
Ignoring something would stop stop something from escalating into a bigger problem?
Yes, stop it from escalating.
Yeah.
Shivani? What does it mean? Answer a fool with silence.
So normally a bully like bullies you and he expects a reaction out of you. So if you just stay quiet, he won't be satisfied and he'll keep bullying you. And so you just have to, he'll get to a point where like he'll just stop bullying you because he knows that if he bullies you, he's going to get nothing out of you. So like, yeah. So if you just answer a fool with silence, that means you're just going to be
There's a
silent.
Chinese proverb about this. Can you hear one hand clapping? No, it takes two hands to clap. I didn't say one hand hitting your leg. I said, in order to clap, you need two hands. But if you clap with one hand, do you hear it? Right. So, therefore, if you answer a fool with silence, then there can't be an argument. You see. Now, do you know of any example that recently happened in the last couple of months of someone who answered a fool with silence? And now they got a big amount of money for doing that. I don't expect you to know, but anyway. So there was this group of students from a Catholic high school. Okay, go ahead, Shrestha.
So a group of students from somewhere in the middle of the United States.
Tennessee, I think.
In Tennessee or somewhere.
And
they
where did
went
they go?
to
Where did they go?
Washington, D.C.
For what?
For a school trip. And
Yeah, it was for, okay, yeah, go ahead.
a school trip. And they were at some place, I don't remember which location, but there was like this
It was
native.
in the center of Washington where they have all the monuments.
Yeah, they were near all the monuments, and then there was this Native American person, and he was like playing some instrument. They were having like a parade or
Playing
something.
his Indian drum.
Yeah, Indian drum, and then he walked up to one of the boys, and then.
Why did he walk up to those boys? They were high school kids.
Yeah, because he thought that they were like making fun of him, and then
No, not exactly him. Well, there was a group of what you call the black followers of Judaism, and you can see them downtown Seattle also. If you go where we do Sankirtans sometimes at the cross street front, what? Yeah, Westlake Park. And across the street from the Westlake Mall. They're always on the other side of the street where the Nordstrom's used to be. And they're always there. And they're talking nonsense all the time, complete nonsense. That, only black people are real people. White people have skin cancer.
Yeah, and they were making fun of the boys.
And they were making fun of the boys.
Yeah.
Now, did the boys say anything?
No, the boys didn't say.
No. Then there's this group of American Indians who were, playing their drum and singing or whatever they're doing. They thought that these boys were like being disrespectful to the black followers of Judaism. And they came up and...
And then he started playing his drum like right in one
his
of the
face.
boys' face.
Yeah, and what was the boy doing?
He just like didn't do anything. He just stood there.
Smiled.
Yeah.
The more he smiled, the more they banged on the drum. And right into his face. So, but why did this boy get a lot of money? Do you know what?
Because he didn't react?
Huh? What?
Because he tolerated
Yeah, you answer a fool with?
silence.
Silence, right? He just tolerated it. He didn't say anything, right? No, but what happened is after that, news media people and news companies, they were saying that, he was disrespectful to American Indians, and they said all kinds of things that were not true. They were not true, right? So what did that boy do? Well, not him, but I guess his parents or the school or people advised him, and they got some high-powered lawyers. What's a high-powered lawyer? Yes. That lawyer, that's what? What? A lawyer that has a good what? Good tonsils?
A lawyer that has good position, like in their job and stuff.
Yeah, he's smart lawyer. And he won a case against CNN, which is a news reporting agency. It's a big one, right? They didn't reveal how much he got, but definitely he got a lot of money. And he's sued a whole bunch of other news agencies and newspapers for basically putting his life into danger by saying all kinds of negative things about him that were not true. Okay, so therefore, he answered the fool with silence, and eventually he was rewarded for it. He was rewarded for it because they made a whole campaign against him. He's only like 14 years old, and all these big newspapers and things, calling him all kinds of names and making all kinds of false statements about him, right? And endangering him. People called up his house saying, "We're going to kill the boy," and things like that. There's so many crazy people in this country, and he didn't do anything. He just smiled, and it was all on video. And it was unfair what they did. Okay. So you can avoid a fight by answering a fool with silence. Yes. Okay, so now go ahead, Anushka. What's next?
Right mindfulness.
Okay. Anybody want to say what right mindfulness is? Let's see. Pravalika, go ahead.
Having the right mindset and thinking about positive things.
Yes. Anybody else want to say something about it? Shrestha? Right mindfulness.
In like Krishna consciousness, right mindfulness means thinking about Krishna all the time and having desires to please Krishna.
Okay. Prabhu? Over here.
So it means
Madhava, I didn't see you up until now. You were hiding behind him. Good.
So it means being conscious of what one's doing. Being
Yes.
conscious of what one's doing.
Right. So if you're conscious of doing nonsense, what would be the natural consequence of that? Answer the question. If you're conscious of doing nonsense, what would happen if you're conscious of it? No, you would stop. If you have right mindfulness and you're conscious that you're doing nonsense, you would stop, right? If you're not conscious, then you would do worse. Okay. All right. And anybody else want to say anything about right mindfulness? Shrivani. Right mindfulness.
Mindfulness describes a state of consciousness that is characterized by a vivid and alert experience of your immediate surroundings.
Immediate.
Oh, sorry.
Is it immediate?
Yeah, sorry. I'm very sorry. Immediate surroundings. In meditation, mindfulness is an effective technique that helps us tune into what is taking place around us and within ourselves by drawing our attention to energy of the present moment. Many philosophical
In the present moment, not present, but present moment.
Many philosophical.
If you emphasize the second syllable of a word, you're pronouncing it like the French do. If you emphasize the first syllable of the word, you're pronouncing it correctly in English. So instead of saying present, you say present. Well, it has a different meaning, right? When you say present. But when you say present, that's the correct way. You're emphasizing the first syllable.
Many philosophical and spiritual traditions emphasize this state.
Philosophical, not philosophical, philosophical.
Many philosophical and spiritual traditions emphasize this state of mind for overall health and well-being. Contemporary scholars and psychology would agree that this presence of mind is a very effective way to calm down and manage our emotional activities into a more positive state.
Okay, now, all these definitions that you've read today, and you've done like good research, but they're not actually Krishna conscious.
They're from the Buddha thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But Buddhism is not
Krishna conscious. Yeah.
Not really Krishna conscious.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. So it doesn't mean that they're completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It just means, okay, how would you make something Krishna conscious? Krishna one.
By relating it to Krishna?
Yes. You would have to be related to Krishna somehow or other to be Krishna conscious. The definition that's Krishna conscious. Okay. So, if we wanted to not redefine, your definition, what you read is good, but if we wanted to make it Krishna conscious, how would you make right-mindedness Krishna conscious? Yes, Prabhu. Back there. Huh? Well, would that discount everything that Shivani read about mindfulness? No, it wouldn't necessarily. It's just that these definitions, see, impersonalists make everything minus Krishna. That's impersonalism. They'll give definitions of words, they'll give explanation of philosophy and so forth, but it's minus Krishna. There's no mention of Krishna. So how would you make mindfulness related to Krishna? Yes. Well, we'll call on Krishna to answer the question. Okay. Since it's all about Krishna.
Add Krishna then? Like add Krishna, relate Krishna to every definition.
How would you add Krishna?
Like, let's say there's a definition of like
a definition of I dare you to find one.
Oh wait. If you say then you can say om instead. That's making something.
Oh, is that Krishnifying the
Sure, I guess.
Okay. Now, okay, what did we say previously, Anushka? I said that, how do you spiritualize something? How do you spiritualize your speech? I'm sorry. Right speech. We were speaking about right speech. How would you spiritualize your speech? Do you remember what we said a little earlier? We said Yeah, everybody says That's not an answer. What do you remember what we said?
I don't think I remember.
Huh? You don't remember? That's okay. Yes. All right. Okay. Yes. Yeah, but there's a way of speaking about Krishna. Yes, Samarth. How would you make your speech Krishna conscious?
By dovetailing it.
With what? Dovetailing it with a rabbit?
No.
Dovetailing it with what?
Krishna Katha.
Okay, you're getting real close now. It's not exactly the answer, but you're really close. It starts with an S.
Sadhu Sangha.
What?
Oh. Oops. No.
Yes. No? Okay. Hey, there it is, Advitya. What's the answer, Advitya? He's waiting for the microphone. He doesn't want anyone not to hear him. Come on, let's give him a microphone.
Speaking about the Shastras.
Exactly right, Shastra. And this is, okay, so first homework for next week, you look up chapter 17, verse 16. Chapter 17, verse 16. If you want to make the definition of mindfulness, or any definition, you would have to connect it to Krishna. And how do you do that? You look up where Krishna speaks about this subject in Shastra. And that is 17th chapter, verse 16 in Bhagavad Gita. Put your hand in front of your mouth. Nobody wants to see your tonsils. So 17:16, you have to read that verse and explain how you would connect mindfulness to Krishna. Okay? Verse, Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter, 16th verse. How would you relate mindfulness to Krishna? How would you do it? If you had to redefine the definition that is, let's say, incomplete, you complete it by relating it to Krishna. And relating to Krishna, you would have to relate it to something that Krishna has said himself about mindfulness, or control of the mind. You want to read that definition again, Shivani? Now listen to what she says.
Mindfulness describes a state of consciousness that is characterized by a vivid, alert experience of your immediate surroundings.
Okay, in other words, you're aware of your immediate surroundings, point one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that means your bedroom, or your school, or your car, or your work.
Yes.
Whatever, yeah, okay.
In meditation, mindfulness is an effective technique that helps us tune in to what is taking place around us and within ourselves by drawing attention to energy of the present moment.
Okay, energy?
Yeah.
Drawing attention to the energy of the present moment? Is that
Yes.
what it says? Yeah. That's one of these blah, blah, blah definitions, you know. You could try and figure out what it means, but, you know. Maybe people who do meditation, they believe that. But is that really the goal of meditation, that definition? Huh?
No.
What's the goal of meditation? Yes, Krishna won.
Focus on
too,
Krishna?
Huh?
To focus on Krishna?
Yes. So read that again. These are called Mayavadi definitions.
In meditation, mindfulness is an effective technique that helps us tune into what is taking place around us and within ourselves by drawing our attention to energy of the present moment.
Energy at the present moment.
Yeah.
That is a Mayavadi definition of meditation. What would be Krishna conscious definition of meditation?
Meditating upon Krishna.
Yeah, but you would have to find the Shastric evidence. So that's your second homework. Find the Shastric evidence in Bhagavad Gita of what is Krishna conscious proper definition of meditation. I'll give you a hint. There's many places where Krishna explains this, but the 12th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, verse number 2. And you can also do some research yourself.
Wait, is that where Krishna explains how to meditate upon him?
What?
Is that where Krishna explains how to meditate upon him?
Yes. But you can do some more. So that's chapter 12, verse number 2.
Oh, what do we explain?
Well, you read a Mayavadi definition of meditation, right? Or mindfulness, as far as the mind goes, right? Or meditation. It mentions meditation. Yeah. Now explain what the real definition of meditation is.
You don't put it so front in front of the person.
Should I start? Yashomati Nandana Brajbara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana Amala Harinam Mamiya Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vamsi Badana Subasa Braja Janapalana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Rakoala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala Yamuna Tata Chara Gopi Basana Hara Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natabara Yeah, I know. Vinodashraya Yashomati Nandana Brajbara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Go to the next one. Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sitaram Jaya Sitaram Jaya Sitaram Jaya Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Yeah. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Hare Krishna. So today at 9:30 we're going to have our breakfast, and it is sponsored by Krishna Murli Prabhu and his family. On the occasion of Samyukta's birthday. And there's a birthday cake. Haribol. Okay. A little bit later. Okay, and the menu today is dokla, cake, rice, and sabji. Whoa. Okay. And then at 10 o'clock we have a meeting with the parents. Okay, so now your second homework is to look up chapter 17, verse 16, and explain how you would redo the definition of right mindfulness and make it Krishna conscious. Okay? Did you write that down? Everybody write that down? What? Yes, your second homework. You know what the first homework is, Madhava? You know what the first homework is, right? What is it? Let me hear. What? No, wait a minute. Where's the microphone? What happened to the microphone? What's the first homework?
It's read 17.16 and explain how you connect mindfulness to Krishna.
That's the second homework.
Oh, the first one is find Shastra.
Oh, that's the first homework.
Yeah.
Okay. Of what? Oh, okay, okay, yeah. All right. The second homework is find what is real meditation according to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
Because in the Buddhist definition of meditation was not a Krishna conscious definition. It was a blah blah. You know what a blah blah meditation is? You know what that is, Arjuna? A meditation that says blah blah. Well, it's not related to Krishna. Let's put it like that. Okay. And now Anushka's going to finish. What's the last point?
Right samadhi.
Okay, samadhi, or right concentration, I guess, or right samadhi. Okay, what does that mean, right samadhi? You know?
Maybe.
Maybe?
No. I don't really know.
You're not sure?
No.
That's okay. Prasana. Right concentration or right samadhi, I guess.
Right samadhi means practicing the 4 stages of dhyana, which includes samadhi proper in the second stage and reinforces the development of bojhaga, culminating into upeka, which means equanimity, and mindfulness.
Okay, that's another one of those blah blah definitions. But you looked it up, that's okay. Read it again a little bit slower. This is right concentration, is that right? Or right samadhi? Does it say samadhi?
Right samadhi.
It says samadhi. Okay, go ahead.
Right samadhi means practicing 4 stages of dhyana meditation, which includes samadhi.
Okay, is meditation the first stage of jnana?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's one. What's two?
The development of Bojhaga.
Bojaka. That is probably a Sanskrit word pronounced like the Buddhists pronounce it. What does it mean, Bojaka? You know?
It doesn't.
Stop saying What's it mean? If you don't know, it's okay.
I don't know.
Okay. All right, keep going. I don't know either. Go ahead.
And then culminating into Upeka, equanimity.
Okay, Upeka means equanimity. You know what equanimity means?
No.
Okay, so from now on, you're not allowed to write down words without knowing what the definition is, right? Because now we're trying to figure out what the definition says, and we're running into these words that you don't understand. So you wouldn't be able to understand the definition if you don't understand these words. So equanimity means, go ahead. Yes, Krishna 2, Krishna 1. Equanimity. EQU.
It's like mental calmness.
ANIMITY. Equanimity. What? Mental calmness?
Yeah.
Okay. And Augusta, you have anything to add to that definition?
Not really.
Not really. And Shrestha? Yes. Oh, give her the microphone. Give her the microphone. Yes?
Neutral in all situations.
What?
Being neutral in all situations.
Equanimity, yes. Keeping the equilibrium of the mind, not going, not becoming, let's say, panicked. Keep the mind steady, right? So this is it's a Latin word. The idea is equal. So your mind doesn't go this way or that way. It stays calm and equal, and not reacting. Just like, answer a fool with silence, so you're not reacting. And you keep the equanimity, the balance of your mind. Just like, there's a balance with, that you can weigh things with, right? Have you ever seen those things? It has two sides to it. And, it's called a balance, right? And you put one thing on one side, and you want to know what the weight is, so it usually goes down like this. And then you have these little weight measures, and like 1 ounce or 2 ounces or 3 ounces. You keep putting those things on the other side, and when it goes like this, now you know how much it weighs, because those little weights that you put on are measured. So when it goes down like this, you don't know what the weight of that object is. And then when you put the little weights on from the other side, it eventually comes up and it equals like that. When it equals like that, then you just read off the weight of those little weight measures that you put on, and now you know how much it weighs. Like, for example, one time, there's a story of Gopal Bhan. You know Gopal Bhan? You don't know Gopal Bhan? Yeah, I mean, you have the comic books back there in the library. There's Gopal Bhan stories. Do you know? Probably never. So there was a king, and Gopal Bhan was the court jester. Jester. You know what that means? A court jester. Yes, Arjuna. Sometimes, yes. So it's a joker, someone who entertains the king with jokes and witty things. So jester, Jester. Jester. So Gopal Bhan was the court jester. He would entertain the king with witty statements, very, let's say, wise statements or funny things. And so everyone disliked Gopal Bhan because the king liked him. And so they were jealous of him. So they always said bad things about Gopal Bhatt to the king. They said, "Oh, he picks his nose, and he doesn't, clean himself when he goes to the toilet." And they were saying none of it was true, but they were saying all these things. Why would they say all those bad things? Yes, Samyukta. Because they're jealous, right? So they were saying false things about him. And they wanted to get rid of him. So they wanted to give a very negative impression about him to the king, so the king would throw him out. So one day the king said, "Look, you guys," all his other ministers were complaining about Gopal Bhatt. He said, but Gopal Bhatt's a very intelligent guy. He might act like an idiot, but he's a very intelligent person, and I rely on his advice a lot. And everyone gave, doubtful and bad looks at the king when he said that. He said, "Okay," he said, "let's do a test." He said, "I'm going to challenge you. Tell me how heavy my biggest elephant is." Okay, how many people know the story? How many people don't know the story? Okay, well, the don'ts win. So they tried, all the ministers tried to weigh the elephant, but there was no weight measure. You have these machines like when you want to see how heavy you weigh, right? So you have one of those flat little contraptions in the bathroom, and you step on it and it says, Advitya weighs, 45 pounds, right? Is that right? You weigh 45 pounds? Well, how did I know? I should get an ice cream cone for that one. Okay, so how do you weigh an elephant? An elephant obviously does not weigh 45 pounds. You wouldn't be able to get one of those 45 pound or 50 pound or 100 pound weight measures in the Walmart. And there was no more Walmart at that time. So after a week, everyone came back and said, we don't know. They just guessed. They said, 1 ton, 2 tons, 10 tons, and it was obvious that no one knew. So then he said to Gopal Bhatt, he said, "Can you weigh the elephant?" He said, "Yeah, no problem. I can tell you exactly how much it weighs." And everyone was like, "What? The idiot's going to outdo us again?" So the king said, "Well, Gopal," he said, "can you show everybody else how you're going to do this?" He said, "Yeah, no problem." So he had everyone come down to the what's called the wharf, or the place where boats come in and out and deliver things. And there's some big boats there. And one boat just arrived, and they emptied. It came with a lot of wheat in these big gunny sacks or jute sacks, and each sack weighed about 100 pounds. So they took about 400 of those sacks out of the boat. And Gopal Bhatt had everyone come down to the boat, and he said, he drew a line where the water level was on the boat, the water line on the boat. So like maybe this much of the boat was underwater and all the rest of it was above water. So they drew a line there. He said, "Now," he said, "bring the elephant into the boat." So they brought the elephant into the boat, and then they measured where the water line was on the boat. So before it was here, right? And now it went up here, right? So they drew that line. So then he said, "Take the elephant off the boat." So they took the elephant off the boat. And now he said, "Now start bringing these sacks of wheat," each sack weighed 100 pounds, into the boat. So they brought the sacks. So the line of the water went back again to the lower line, right? So then they brought these sacks into the boat, and the boat kept going, deeper into the, and then when it came aligned with the where the line was when the elephant was in the boat. They counted the number of sacks, and then Gopal Bhatt said, that elephant weighs 3 tons and 3.5 tons. He got it exactly right. So then the king looked at all the ministers. All the ministers were, they had their heads down and they were, grumbling and not really happy. You see, he said, he's not an idiot. He's not just a court jester. He's a very smart person, smarter than all of you. That's why I'm not getting rid of him. I'm keeping him. Okay? So, this is the difference between someone who has theoretical knowledge and someone who has practical knowledge. So, theoretical knowledge is called jnana. Write this down. G-N-A-N-A. Jnana. And practical or realized knowledge is called vijnana. V-I-J-N-A-N-A. So theoretical knowledge is jnana, and practical realized knowledge is vijnana. So your third homework is to look up these 2 words, make sure what I just said is true or right, and then write down examples. Like this story of Gopal Bhatt is one example. Write down other examples that you might find of the difference between someone who has jnana and someone who has vijnana. Okay, so now, who else did their homework? Okay. Okay, Prabhu, can you explain how to become a demon? This was one of the homeworks last week.
So without raising oneself to the standard of the mode of goodness, one remains in ignorance and passion, which is the cause of demoniac life. Those in the modes of passion and ignorance deride the scriptures, deride the holy man.
What does deride mean?
Make fun of or disrespect.
Yes.
And deride the proper understanding of the spiritual master, and they do not care for the regulations of the scriptures. In spite of hearing the glories of devotional service, they are not attracted. Thus, they manufacture their own way of elevation. These are some of the defects of human society, which lead to the demoniac status of life.
Excellent. Anybody else want to read? Yes, go ahead, Prabhu. You read.
16.24 How to become a demon. Remaining in ignorance and passion and not caring about scriptures or the spiritual master and not being attracted to devotional service is like being like a demon.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, right over here. Your brother. Read slowly and loudly. Go ahead.
I didn't do the homework of how to become a demon.
Okay, which homework did you do?
I did read Bhagavad Gita 2.71 and read and read Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.32.
Okay, go ahead. How Krishna deals with devotees and non-devotees, right?
Okay. Lord Krishna will give instructions to a true devotee on going back to Godhead.
Yes.
For a non-devotee, the Lord will only witness their activities and awards results, good or bad. But but will not otherwise on going back to Godhead.
Okay, so which do you want to be, a devotee or non-devotee?
Devotee.
And why would you want to be a devotee instead of a non-devotee? Why would you want to be a devotee instead of a non-devotee? Madhava. Say it to the microphone.
Because you get to learn the way to get
Close-
back to Godhead.
You learn what?
How to get back to Godhead.
What if you don't want to go back to God? Then you would be a demon, right? So if you want to be a devotee, and you engage in devotional service, then Krishna will give you instructions. How do you go back to God? He'll instruct you how to do everything in this life. Yes? Okay, go ahead. You want to do another part of your homework?
Read Bhagavad Gita 2.71 and explain what it means to be without desires.
Yes.
From the Bhagavad Gita 2.71, to be without desires means desire for becoming Krishna consciousness. Such a person knows that everything belongs to Krishna and everything should be used for the satisfaction of Krishna.
Yes, very good. Okay, who else did their homework? Okay, let's see. Okay, Samyukta. It's your birthday, so you get a cheat.
Which one should I read?
Whichever one you want.
Okay. I did the fourth one. I think explain the difference of how Krishna responds to devotees and deals with devotees and non-devotees.
Yes.
I wrote, Krishna responds to everyone, devotees and non-devotees. He gives the devotees the power to remember him, and the non-devotees forget him. The devotees desire to serve Krishna, and the non-devotees desire for sense gratification. He gives the devotees remembrance and knowledge so that they can serve him.
Very good. Remembrance and knowledge. Very good. Okay, yes, you want it? Go ahead. No, you. Yeah. What?
For what it means to be without desires?
Yeah, wait a minute. But she wanted to say something first. Yes.
Can I talk about how to become a demon?
How to what?
How to become a demon.
How to become a demon. Haribo.
So, they disobey the instructions of the spiritual master and don't follow the scriptures.
Let's say that again. Go slower.
They disobey the instructions of the spiritual. Disobey the instructions of the spiritual master and don't follow the scriptures. This happens because of the mode of passion and ignorance, deriding the spiritual master, the scriptures, and the holy man.
Deriding, yes. So, in your school, do you see people that are completely in the mode of passion and ignorance?
Yes.
Yes? A lot or a few? Huh?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot, right. So, and do you have any way that you could help those people? Any ideas?
Simply Wonderful.
Go ahead.
Simply Wonderful. You can.
Yeah, did you make Simply Wonderfuls?
No, I just have the recipe.
Well, you have to bring them next week.
Okay.
How many people brought Simply Wonderfuls today? All right. So, how many people actually ate a Simply Wonderful? Did everyone who made them eat them? Advitya didn't eat it. Yeah. Okay, so we should share the Simply Wonderfuls downstairs and decide which one tastes the best. Because, there are different types of Simply Wonderfuls. It depends on what the ingredients are. Yes, Murli, you have something to say about that? What? Simply Wonderful? I think it was Prabhupada. And Yamuna Mata? That she says Prabhupada gave the... Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's one of our homeworks for today. Downstairs, when we're having prasadam, we're going to decide which one of the Simply Wonderfuls that were made is the best. Okay? We're going to have a contest. So, if you made some Simply Wonderfuls, you go around to everyone and share a little piece of it, and we have to decide which one is the best. Okay? Okay, wait a minute. There's one more homework. The last homework is an interesting subject. It's read Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse number 24. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse number 24. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse 24. And explain what are the three essential qualities in order to be trained in Krishna consciousness. And explain what those qualities are from your own experience. What are the three most important qualities one must have in order to be trained, Trained, trained in Krishna consciousness, and explain from your own experience what those qualities are. Got it? Everybody have that? You're going to read Canto 1, Chapter 5, verse number 24, and you're going to explain what are the three essential qualities one should have in order to be trained how to be a devotee, and explain from your own experience what those three qualities are. Okay? All right, that's for tomorrow. Whoa. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. If you turn your homework in, you have to have your name on the... You have to have your name on it. Where is it? I don't see your name. Oh, Ria. Okay. You have your name? Yeah. And you have your name? Pranjal. Okay. You have your name, Tulsi Priya. Very good. You have your